On the factor crap, the Detroit Lions. They did lose a heartbreaker to the Washington Commanders on Saturday night. In the process, they lost their offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, to the Chicago Bears, and more than likely their defensive coordinator, Aaron Glen, to the New York Football Jets. The Lions have had the same system for the last 4 seasons. Since Dan Campbell has been there, Ben Johnson has been the offensive coordinator, Aaron Glen has been the defensive coordinator. So, guys, factor crap. Has the Super Bowl window officially closed for the Detroit Lions? Whew. This one's tough. Because the Detroit Lions, guys, they do have a great young core of players. From Jared Goff to Aiden Hutchinson to St. Brown, they got a really, really good team. They had a really, really good system as well. Next man up, next man up, next man up, right? Their coaching and culture has been huge. Dan Campbell did bring in the culture. Their coaching, how much of that is Dan Campbell? I guess we'll find out in 2025, won't we? But guys, when you lose arguably one of the best offensive coordinators and one of the best defensive coordinators on your team, that's tough. That's tough, baby. And we've seen teams lose defensive coordinators, lose offensive coordinators, and the system and the culture happens to go away as well. Let's look at the Philadelphia Eagles. They lost 3 offensive coordinators in 3 seasons, right? It took them a while to really figure it out. Same with the defense. However, Andy Reid and their system, next man up, next man up, next man up. When we lost Eric Bieniemy, I'm like, this sucks. But you know what? We won the Super Bowl like the next season. So, guys, factor crap. Is the Super Bowl window officially closed for the Detroit Lions? I have to say fact. I have to say fact because of Ben Johnson. Aaron Glen had a great system. I think talent alone on the Detroit Lions defensive side of the ball is going to win them a lot of games still, right? They still have a lot of grit about them. But offense, Ben Johnson dialed up some key plays. And if this was beginning of last season and this would have happened, I would have said crap, right? But this is a fact. The fact that Ben Johnson is going to Chicago. Chicago has something to be excited about. Minnesota Vikings had a great season, 14-3, right? They have a lot to build on. Other teams in the NFC are getting better and better and better. Washington Commanders are going to be there for years to come. But I'm saying fact. Their Super Bowl window has closed. The Detroit Lions Super Bowl window has closed. Let's see what the people are saying. Let's see what the people are saying. Laura is saying, I'm not even mad the Lions lost. I'm just being honest. I'm not mad either. Alpha Rob says, crap. They're still a tough team. They're still going to get back to Super Bowl. The Super Bowl window has not closed. James says, that's tough. It's very tough. And John wants to think I'm waffling around. I'm not waffling around. I said fact. The Super Bowl window is closed, baby. It's closed. And Ann says, crap. The future is bright, but they might have to move on from Jared Goff. Hendon Hooker ain't getting any younger either. Listen, Jared Goff and Hendon Hooker, I think, are the same age. Let's just be honest. Hendon Hooker was like a 27-year-old senior. They're the same age. But why would you move on from Jared Goff? And he's only 28, 29 years old. He had a bad game. He's been to a Super Bowl. He knows what it takes to get there. I'm just saying. Carson says crap, though. They have too much talent. Even though you call it giving them an out, they had 12 guys on IR getting healthy. They'll be fine. This was also, Carson, underneath the Aaron Glen system. Obviously, injuries play a role of your team every year, right? And the system that Aaron Glen had gave them the ability to plug and play. Would that have been the same on the offense if they would have lost Jared Goff or St. Brown or Gibbs or Sam LaPorta or anybody on the offensive line? Skipper, Penei Sewell? Like, you could say crap. But I'm not waffling around, Laura. I'm not waffling around. It's fact. It's fact. James says, I'm saying crap because of the players, but losing Aaron Glen and Ben Johnson is going to make them have to figure some things out. AKA, stop going for it on fourth down all the time. You don't have to. Carson Sang says, and they still have a draft every year to add more talent. They do. They do. They've been drafting well. They've been developing players well, right? They've been doing it. Laura says, waffle, because as mad as I am that I lost to them twice, I enjoy watching the Lions play through every winning thing and through everything and winning. Sheesh. Homer. Carson says, Gibbs, Laporta, St. Brown, Williams is too much power on the offense not to be good. You can say say the same thing about the Miami Dolphins, Carson. Jaden Waddle, Tua, Tyreek Hill, their plethora of running backs. Their defense is not terrible. They have too much power not to be good. And look, they're not very good. It's all about culture. It's all about coaching, right? It is what it is. It is what it is. But guys, that is going to be it for today's show.